All right, guys, we are back for another episode live every Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. And I got my man Ron Harris from Ron Harris Muscle back on the show. Welcome to the
What's
show,
up?
Ron.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Phil, the Jamaican Tank Clayhart, is on his way. Okay, he just messaged me. He says he's gonna be a little bit late. Remember, guys, he is in diet mode. I think it's what, 3 weeks now to his show? It's August 10th. Yeah, August 10th. So like
Three and a
three-ish.
half. Three and a half. Yeah.
Yep. So he is on his way. He'll just jump in when he jumps in. But there is lots to talk about. And who better to have on than Ron Harris, who just did an interview. Now, what was the doctor's name that you had on?
Dr. George Antouliatos from Athens, Greece.
Oh, nice. Okay. Okay. All right. So
That's who
we're
he
gonna.
looks like. For those who
Oh
don't know,
yeah. 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 You have the. Okay. Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. And yeah. So we'll talk about Ronnie. Got some updates. Good updates. And like we were saying before, and we were doing these updates before, Ronnie's a fighter. He's gonna get through this. He's gonna get through it. And look at there he is, smiling. Right, he's there. So first thing when I saw this update, I was like, man, he looks different in the face. Like he was like maybe on death's bed. Like he was just he went through it for sure.
Mm.
Lost a lot of fluid, a lot of weight, and he's there, man. So his face looks like a different person, man. I was like, man, that's what. So, anyways, the update was that he had a little bit of a heart surgery. Maybe Ron's going to talk a little bit more about it because he talked to an actual doctor about this. And he had sepsis and infection of the blood. We all know that now. So they did whatever they had to do to get through that. But Ron, let's talk about, first off, make sure you go to Ron's channel, check out the interview he did with his doctor and dives a little bit more deeper into it. But Ron, after talking to him, kind of give us an assessment of what the doctor thinks and what's happening here.
Yeah. The channel's Ron Harris Muscle, for those who don't know. And
Yep.
Ask Dr. T. So, yeah, I put it to him. He's not a cardiologist. So he didn't
Yep.
want to comment too much on the heart condition. And the family was, they're keeping it they're playing it close as far as details. But in terms of minor heart surgeries, there's only a few different kind of heart procedures that you can even classify as minor. So he probably either had a valve replacement or a stent put in or a bypass,
Yeah.
which are, those are all, there's, compared to like a heart transplant, that's a minor surgery, but it's not minor. But it's great that they caught it at this point. The sepsis, I didn't realize how prevalent sepsis is as a cause of death. It's the third leading cause of death in the United States after
Wow.
heart disease and cancer. And it's responsible for 20% of all deaths worldwide. So 1 in 5 people in the world that dies of sepsis.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, I had no
I
idea.
had no clue.
So especially in hospital situations, it's prevalent because you do have so many germs and bacteria in the hospitals. And I know they do the best job they can, but Ronnie's also had something like 15 to 20 surgeries. It's somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Now, every time you go through a surgery, you're putting yourself at risk of infection. That's the major risk after anesthesia. And with all that hardware, the metal parts inside of him, that amplifies your chances too. So eventually the family will come out because they did say in the last update that they identified the cause of the sepsis, which they didn't share with us. So we're just sort of speculating, but yeah, I mean, and he started this foundation, which is great because, I mean,
Yeah.
talking about raising awareness because we weren't aware. I'm sure most people weren't aware of just how dangerous sepsis is and how prevalent it is.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's very severe. Like I watched a video on sepsis. I want to make sure I knew as much as possible. Sometimes when you get it, there's like a 50% chance you may not survive. You can get through it especially when you get into sepsis shock, which is what I think happened to Ronnie, where it just came all together and at once, and then he was on the ground at the restaurant, in the parking lot, and it was not good. You rushed off in an ambulance to the hospital, so it wasn't. Once it gets to that point, it's not good. So good to see Ronnie back, and we're gonna hopefully get a statement from him eventually. Hear him speak. That would be cool to see. How he sounds and his energy. Because again, he was put into a coma. Okay, he was on life support. He had a breathing respiratory machine. Sometimes that can cause a little bit of brain, like, when you go through that, it can affect you. And then he had some heart stuff that they did with that as well. So who knows? But I'm sure he'll be back in the gym. I'm sure he'll go back to the gym and be doing some deadlift, some
Yeah,
seated.
and the doctor actually speculated that, it's all speculation without
Yeah.
knowing for sure. But going back to the gym so quickly after these surgeries might not have been the best idea, because gyms are a breeding ground for bacteria. Oh, here comes Phil.
There's Phil.
I mean, the worst infection I ever got in my life was from a gym. It was something called C. diff. And if you don't know what that is, you're very lucky. You don't
Yeah.
want to know what it is. It's horrible.
That's the thing too. You can catch so many things from the gym. And if he's training at Metroflex, like, it's not, I've been there before. It's not clean. Let's just say
No,
that.
no. They
So
clean it once a year with a leaf blower.
yeah, yeah. What's up, Phil? How you doing? I know you're
Hey,
coming in. You just get back from the gym, or were you up
I'm
to?
still at the office, man. It's just a
Oh,
different scenery. I'm in the
oh,
office.
okay, that's why. Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you for joining. We're just going over Ronnie's update, and we're all glad to see him doing better, smiling. That's so awesome. It could be a completely different story here. We could, like, he could still be out and still in, like, this is so awesome that King Ron is in better health now, and he's going to be back and on the mend for recovery. So awesome to see. So we have a lot of updates here, especially for the Mr. Olympia. Let me just go here and get to this. Get out of this thing here. Exit out of. Okay, there we go. There we go. Tube zoomed in. So we'll go to now. I got into it with now. Giles and Ron are very good friends, and I don't know Giles very personally. Giles is a great guy. He contributes to the sport, and we were just going back. It was all fun, right? Giles is passionate. I'm passionate, and we were going kind of back and forth about the Samson Dauda. And you know what? After I think about it a little bit, it's 13 weeks. Okay, there's lots of time for Samson to get into shape. So maybe I'm just being hard on Samson, because I see there's so much potential for Samson to be a multi-time Mr. Olympia. I keep saying that. And he misses the mark. Sometimes he missed the mark at the Arnold this year, gave up $600,000 to Derek Lunsford. And even at the last year's Olympia, he was 90%. He wasn't 100% ultra shredded, dominating condition where there's no question that, yeah, he easily won that show. That's it. He was losing to Hadi in the prejudging. Something happened in the finals and he won. So, it is what it is. But so when I see his level of conditioning now, it's hard to speculate, but it's not as hard and gnarly as, say, Nick Walker is right now and Hadi Chupin is right now. And again, people say, well, Nick Walker just competed and Derek Lunsford, they just competed, so they're going to be leaner, this far out from the show. Hadi Chupin didn't compete. And did you see? I'll show you the post of Hadi Chupin. Night and day conditioning between the two. So that's why I'm like, I would like to see that level of conditioning on Samson 13 weeks out, like I'm seeing it on Hadi. So your guys' take on it, Ron, your take on my perspective of, like, is he on track? Is, first off, Ronnie Coleman did 20-week diets preps for the Olympia. 20 weeks, doing 2 hours a day cardio, 20 weeks. Samson, 13, 16-week diets. I think Samson needs to be doing 20-week diets to give himself more time. Okay, enough of my rant. Ron, what's your assessment of his conditioning?
So I would, I'm in the same boat as you, a content creator, YouTube, all this,
Yeah.
Instagram. I would shy away from now on making posts about this guy's not looking good at this point out from the show, because
Yeah.
we've both seen so many people that even as close as like 4 or 5 weeks out, they look like, oh no, they're not going to be in shape.
Yeah.
Flex Wheeler back in the day, I used to see him. I trained in Venice. I used to see him at like 5-6 weeks out from contests and be like, oh no, he's screwed. He's not going. There's no way he's going to be in shape. He was always in shape. It's just so what Giles was getting at is it just comes across as negative, because it's insinuating that they're behind and they're not going to be in shape. And maybe it's great that Nick is hard as nails and Hadi is hard as nails, but the show's not today. It's not tomorrow. 13 weeks away. So I wouldn't even make posts like that anymore. You do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's why you get that kickback and people say,
Yeah.
people say Matt's negative, Matt's a hater, because it just seems like you're doubting that they're going to be in shape. When I agree, I'd like to see him leaner now, but who knows what they've got in store, him and Marlene.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. And that's just, again, and when I make these assessments and I critique a physique and I'm trying to analyze, okay, where Samson, should be at 13 weeks out, it's tough, right? But then I'm just comparing him to who he's up against. And I'm just bringing that factor in, and I'm seeing that he's not where these other guys are that are going to be pushing him for the title this year, and so that's why I make that statement. It's not to be negative; it's just to kind of be like, okay, let's point out this is his Achilles heel. His conditioning has always been his setback, and I see him the way he looks. It's just my opinion on that. But Phil, what's your take on his condition and what you're seeing from Samson right now? Even though it's 13 weeks out, it's hard to kind of make that assessment. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's 13 weeks out. I can't really be harsh on anyone this far out from the show. I mean, Matt, you speak your mind. There's nothing really wrong with speaking your mind. Probably we could be a little more kosher with the comments. But I mean, you speak your mind. You've always done that. So I normally don't tell or say, people need to change their perspective. I just know that Samson is Samson, man. And, last year we were all saying that he wasn't where he should be when he did the one show. And then he came and shocked the hell out of us at the Mr. Olympia. So I believe they have a game plan going on. I mean, he could be a little bit tighter, but once again, it's 13 weeks out. The average pros normally die at about 15 weeks out from a show. So I think he's fine where he's at, as long as when he gets to like week 8 and 7, we see a big difference. But I think he's fine where he's at right now, and I also, like I said, I also think it's fine that you speak your mind. I mean, some people, Giles is a big Samson fan. That's his boy, and I can see him, defending Samson. But I think sometimes, even being a fan and being close to a pro bodybuilder or friend, sometimes we can't let our emotions get involved. And Giles is a very passionate guy. And sometimes he gets really, really, really caught up emotionally with certain individuals, from UK or whatever the case may be. But that's his thing. But, Matt, you voiced your opinion, and, that's what it is. You can be harsh, but that's what you're known for. And just be who you are. I don't see a big issue with it. I mean, I just don't. The only thing I saw is when you were trying to compare Maxilla to him. I was like, oh well, no, that's nonsense.
We can talk about that. I forgot about that.
I said that's nonsense. I don't even want to hear that. But yeah, man, just be you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why people. You always got pushback from certain people on social media, but then you're still rising, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, once again, Samson, I think he's in a decent place. I'm not going to say he's behind or anything like that. He's in a decent place. He's not scared to get up and guest pose and show it and do his thing. I'm very excited to see it. But I still think, and I truly believe, he's going to bring something special, regardless of what we're seeing now. He likes to play those head games. He's not going to catch me like he caught me last year. So. Yeah,
I agree. I understand that. Is this Missy Truscott? This the real Missy Truscott?
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
Flooded right now, but can I just want to say one thing about Giles and Samson, just so people know, he's not a Samson fanboy. He did support Samson quite a bit as Samson was coming up. Samson has had him blocked on social media for a while now. Their falling out started when that whole Milos calling Giles whatever he called him. That was like one of my highest rated episodes. That was cringing the whole time. But anyway, he explained it went back a while. But so Giles he's definitely not a Samson fanboy. He doesn't wish ill on Samson, but he's not going out of his way to promote him over everybody else just because he's from the UK.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you pointed that out. Like, I didn't realize that Samson did he block him or just?
Yeah, he's blocked him. It goes back to
wow.
It goes something like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the club, Giles.
Yeah.
I'm blocked now too. So that's what I don't like to see. the blocking guys, I don't get it. I don't get why you block media guys. It's just, I don't know, little like the mentality level at that. Like, dude, you're in a sport where you're seen by millions of people around the world, and you're blocking certain narratives or something that someone's talking and like reporting on you about. I got this. I don't know. Anyways, but it is what it is. Missy Truscott is here in the comments, and she said, guys need to stop chasing and bragging about their off-season weight and instead focus on coming in peeled for that 600K. Yeah, I agree. That's why I say I'm concerned with what I'm seeing. Maybe I'm being over concerned with that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he looks like garbage and looks like shit and using negative words. I use the word concerned, and then I get flooded with, oh my God, you're negative, this shit, man. What are you crazy? Like, come on, fucking grow some thick skin in this sport. It's a bunch of fucking pussies half the time talking about these fucking big bodybuilders, and we get, oh, you're being this, man. I'm like, fuck that shit. That's why I speak my mind. I'm concerned with how he looks. His Achilles heel is his fucking conditioning. He's giving up $600,000 at the Arnold fucking Classic. Get your fucking ass in shape, Samson Dauda. That's all I got to say. If you want to prove that you are the best, get peeled out of your mind. Why can't you do that? It's this, and then you're just like, you're not a dominant Mr. Olympia champion. Phil Heath even said, there's no more dominant champions because they can't look like Phil and Ron. They can't get to that level of conditioning. So that's why I say what I say, because I'm more of the old school fan of the old school. What these guys used to do, the fucking determination they had to get in shape and be the best of the best, to be the most superior man on that stage. And Samson isn't doing it right now.
Yeah.
But he has all the potential in the world to fucking do it. And for some reason, he doesn't want to take it to the next level. Even Milos is like, he's not suffering enough. He's not willing to do it. He's not doing enough cardio. So that's why I have the passion that I have, because I'm a true fan of the sport and the history of it and what these guys do. And you see guys that do come in shredded, like Hadi and these guys, and they're really fucking peeled, and you know what it takes to get to that level. And then you got guys like Samson who are genetically gifted from a superior shape standpoint, and they win, right? But luckily the judges, like I said this earlier, thankfully the judges this year, Arnold said, no, Samson, you didn't bring it. You're not, your shape is way better than Derek, but your condition wasn't. So you're getting second place. So hopefully that lights a fire under Samson's ass, and he comes to Olympia more peeled than he's ever been. I hope he does.
Very well.
All right,
Yeah.
there's my little rant. That'll probably be the clip for that I put on Instagram.
You said fucking
There it is. That'll get some. All right. Okay, so that's Samson. Yeah, Hadi here. There we go. So from a standpoint of guys leading into the show, based on what we're seeing right now, who are you guys leaning towards thinking that they're going to pull, if Hadi brings it to the Olympia? They're out of the three right now, Derek, Hadi, Samson. Who do you got kind of, I'm leaning towards this guy.
Listen, just out of respect, until the Olympia title is taken away from Samson,
Yeah.
I have to stay with the champion until until the champion is defeated. Hadi's known for his thing. Hadi's going to be Hadi. I think he's going to come in remarkable if he does get here. I hope he does get here. That's just the question mark right now. If he gets here, once he lands in United States, then we can say what we need to say. But right now, with how things are, I hope he gets here. But Samson, to me, right now, until the title is officially taken away from him, he is the guy that I am going to stick with to win the Olympia until it's said differently.
Okay. Ron, who's your same kind of standpoint, or do you have someone you're leaning towards?
It's hard to argue against what Phil just said. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got the best physique in the world.
Yeah.
It's just condition. And I as much as he doesn't look anything like Hadi's condition, I'd be more concerned that somebody's that lean 13 weeks out. It's like, how much? What he's got? This is like maybe 10 pounds over stage weight. So what's he going to do?
Again, he's a veteran. He's been doing it. So whatever he's doing it.
Right,
But
right.
I see that too. Is he going to be able to hold on to the muscle, right? And the size and the fullness in the legs, which is what he needs to work on too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Samson losing the Arnold, I think that solidified the fact that we're going to see him in that condition or at least very close to what we've always wanted to see, because he knows now
Yeah.
if he shows up like that at the Olympia, Hadi will beat him, or Derek will beat him, or both of them. You know, I don't think Nick Walker, unless Samson's really off, I don't see Nick beating him. But I don't know, Nick's starting to become the real underdog hero of the Olympia already.
Speaking of Nick,
Yeah.
thank you. And yeah, so I agree with what you're saying there about Hadi. And now Nick, to me, I'm leaning more towards Nick. I would never say this, but Nick is looking really good. This again, he looks he's like Hadi. He's super vascular and dry already, 13 weeks out. So, you know, obviously he just competed, but you know, he's getting there. So, you know, I mean, I'm leaning towards right now. I have Nick Walker ahead of Samson. I know it's hard to say that, but Nick looked extremely good at the New York Pro. He pushed Derek. Some say he beat Derek in Pittsburgh. And you know he's going to be in shape. Look at this already, 13 weeks out. Glutes, thin skin already. And he's got the size now too. So right now I'm kind of on team Walker here with potential to upset things here. And even Derek, he can beat Derek, right? He's shown that has the potential to do that. So what are you guys thinking about Nick Walker and his chances? Do you think he can win the Olympia this year?
Well, I don't know about winning the Olympia. I know he'll do. I believe he'll do very well in the within the top 5. I know his goal is to be in the top 3. The only thing that concerns me is I'm not really a fan of being this far out looking like that, especially, no disrespect to his track record with him not able to show up to show. So my thing is, this is something that's concerning. You know, we want to say that, you know, Samson Dauda is somewhat far off, and that's concerning. But this is more concerning to me, because to be this dry and looking like this far out, can the body? I mean, Hadi Chupon is a whole different breed, man. He's a Persian wolf. This guy could be peeled in his dreams. You know, he always shows up in shape. He's never off. So he's a different breed. We can't even question him being the way he looks now. But with Nick, I don't know. I don't think any bodybuilder, any pro level, NPC level, national level should be this dry, this far out, looking like this. Especially, once again, I have to stress it, no disrespect, when you've had situations that cause you not to show up to the Olympia. I think the game should be played a little bit smarter. That's just my opinion. Looking tight and hard is great, but starting to get over grainy and over dry this far out, come on, man. The body only could take but so much. You know what I mean? Internally. So just whatever it is, just be careful doing it, and hopefully he slows it down a little bit and not let himself, you know, get too far ahead too soon.
Yeah, Ron, what's your gauge on him being this lean 13 weeks out?
I mean, it's not entirely safe in terms of injuries can happen when you're super dry and super lean. The joints don't have any lubrication. You know, God forbid he tears something else. He's already torn a hamstring. You know, I'm actually rooting for Nick to win, believe it or not. I love the underdog, and he's like the one guy. Aside from Walker Nation, nobody thinks this guy can win the Olympia. It would be such a ridiculous upset if he beats Hadi, Derek, and Samson. You know, that would be one of the most shocking Olympia results in the history of the show. So, you know, I like drama. I like crazy stories. I'd love to see that happen. You know, I hope he knows what he's doing, him and his coach. I'm sure they do. But yeah, I mean, 13 weeks is a long time. It's a long time. I know it goes by quick, but really.
Yeah. And Hadi, like Phil said, he's a Persian wolf. He's 240 pounds, right? Roughly. Nick is 280. So it's a bigger body to hold leaner for longer. And we already saw what happened to Nick last year. He pulled out because he was like burnt out. He couldn't, or something was going on and he couldn't mentally do it. So if he's got to stay this lean, this dry for 13 weeks, it can get to you. So hopefully he makes it to the stage this year. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he seems to have his head on straight and everything's good now. He's settled down in New Jersey or whatever, at his mom's place or whatever he's doing. So it looks like he's got the right arsenal this year to really bring it. But hopefully everything works out for Nick to get on the stage and bring it, because we want to see it. We want to see him make it there and battle these guys. But
Did he ever come out and explicitly say exactly why he didn't do that Olympia? What happened?
I don't know, Phil, did you hear? I think it. He was.
I just think his body just wasn't responding.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wanted to, want to talk to fake gear master. His body, it wasn't responding, and it happens. It happens when you push yourself. A little bit too much. These things happen, and that's my main concern. I don't want that to happen. One, him burn out. Two, Ron is 100% correct. Drying out, dry bones, ligaments, tendons. It's just very easy to injure yourself having your body in this state this far out. So
Agreed. So hopefully he makes it to the stage. And this was posted today, and it's like when people see that, like, holy shit, I didn't realize there was that many pro shows, right? So that's why I like to do these type of posts, because it brings up these good conversations that kind of just go overlooked until you put it in front of everyone, and then they're like, oh shit, okay, this is a problem. This doesn't make any sense. So 98 pro shows for men's classic physique, 106 pro shows for men's physique. And women's figure I put in there because it's in there in the 50s. Women's bikini, 115 pro shows for just women's bikini. Okay, women's wellness, 66. So, and some people had, like, Tony Freeman chimed in here. So Tony's like, okay, what's his suggestion? We got to come up with a solution here. Okay, Tony's like, I suggest tiering the shows into qualifying series. Okay, winners get ranked and qualified accordingly. Promoter and sponsor pays the winning athlete's way to the Olympia. Then during prejudging and elimination round determines who makes the final top 5 to 15, who performs at the finals. Increase the Olympia prize money, save expenses, it forces the cream to the top, right? What do you guys think of that type of a semi? And there's another lady that mentioned something like a semifinal, right? They go to the semifinals and then eliminate some from there, and then you got to the final. The NBA does it. Other sports do it. Why can't we do it? Is it just because logistically you're dealing with athletes and they're dieting and they're prepping, and it's kind of hard to do that type of a structure? What do you think on Tony's take here with this new tier system?
I don't necessarily know about that. I think Dennis James, his example made more sense. Depending on the tier of the shows, winning 2 pro shows to qualify to get into Olympia. Some of these things, like if you have too much moving parts, remember, these bodybuilders have to peak. So too many moving parts is going to cause issue with peaking and possibly, messing them up getting into the Olympia. So I don't know about that strategy, but I know Dennis made a really good point. A lot of people was on board with what he said. Winning 2 pro shows. I mean, depending on the tiers of the show, winning 2 pro shows, and then you're in the Olympia, which makes sense. But, we could sit here and put all different ideas together. It's up to the big guys in the office to make a decision.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen this year. I'm pretty sure it will not. But I'm pretty sure they are trying to think of ways to fix this issue. I just don't know when.
Yeah, Ron, what's your take? I'll chime in after Ron, but what's your kind of thought process?
In these, it has to be simple. I agree with Phil. If you make it too complicated, it's not. No one's going to go for it. So have tier 1 shows. Figure out, okay, these are the tier 1 shows: Arnold Olympia, Dubai Pro, Pittsburgh Pro. I mean, you should have to pay out a lot of money to be tier 1 show. I don't think New York Pro is a great show, but it doesn't pay that much. Anyway, if you're not winning a tier 1 show for these divisions, if your division has more than some arbitrary number, say 50 pro qualifier or Olympia qualifiers, or 60, some number, then you have to win 2 of them, because women's bikini, 115 pro shows. So theoretically, you could have over 100 women's bikini women competing at the Olympia. That's far from elite, very far from elite. Like I said, we don't have to do anything with men's open. We're not worried about men's open. There's not going to be more than 20, 25 guys regardless. Most of these other divisions, but these ones that you displayed here, there's just so many of them. and a lot of them are just a lot of these pro shows, they're very small. They're tacked on to a regional NPC show because they have cheaper sanction fees for those divisions. Men's Open is the most expensive sanction fee. Plus, you have to pay them the most amount of prize money. So that's why there are very few Men's Open shows and so many of these other shows, because they're much cheaper to put on. But then you get people that win and they say, well, I'm Olympia qualified. It doesn't mean you're Olympia caliber. The Olympia is supposed to be the best of the best. And if they're not going to do some sort of cut round at the Olympia itself, which I don't know, maybe that's another way to do it, then I think you have to have a tier system or point system or something that eliminates these amounts of numbers. That's way too many people to be at what's supposed to be our most elite event of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. And then your wife, Phil, was saying it's a bad idea to do that system because you're still paying for everyone to come to the Olympia, and then you still cut them, right? And you're still paying for all their expenses, right? I think I don't know who was saying it, like Sean Ray or someone were saying, maybe it was Dennis, I don't know, saying that you get them. Sure, everyone comes on their own dime to the Olympia. Even the guys that usually place first, whatever, second, everyone's paying their way there. Okay, you're gonna get reimbursed, but only the top 15 are getting reimbursed, right? And that's how you save the money side of things. Now the cut thing, I agree, that should happen on a Friday. There's 70 competitors in the men's classic physique division. They come on Friday, they do the prejudging, the cut round, whatever you want to call it. It's broken down to 15, top 15. The rest get a text message after they walk off stage. Sorry guys, after prejudging, you're not in the top 15. Thanks for coming. Enjoy the rest of the weekend at the Olympia. That's it. I understand, right? If you can't make the cut, why are we going to pay for you to stay at a hotel room and do all this stuff? We'll reimburse you if you're top 15. Plus, you'll get prize money on top. Way more money to go around. This way, you don't have to reduce the number of pro shows. You don't have to, keep people from competing at the Olympia and having the experience to say, I competed at the Olympia, even though I was 55th place at the Olympia, I'm still get to come and compete, and keeps things even that way. So I think
just to clarify, are you suggesting two different judging rounds at the Olympia? One that's going to eliminate everyone but top 15, and then another one that's purely for the top 15?
Yeah, I guess because you're right. So prejudging, if it's just normal, you want to call it prejudging cut round, it's the same thing. So prejudging, you're still going to have 70 athletes come out and prejudging. Which, right? I know. Like, how do you... So either we do a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like a full 3-day show where Thursday's the cut round, then Friday's the normal prejudging, and then Saturday is the show day.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Right?
Because it's just not, because the show starts on Thursday, doesn't it? Doesn't it start because they have the whole amateur thing, and they have
that's true.
There's so much moving parts going on Olympia weekend. I don't think they're going to drag it out more with the pros, Thursday, Fridays. I don't see that happening.
We need to make it harder for these people to get to the Olympia. That's the only solution I see.
Right.
Yeah.
That I agree with. Not making it as easy to make it to the Olympia. I think that's better than,
Cut.
I can't even say like dope. That way, yes. But you're suggesting like they'll make them pay on their own dime. Well, the hotel probably don't even cost them the Olympia that much money. I'm pretty sure they get a big discount because the revenue of money that's coming into the city, right?
Get a big block of rooms, yeah.
Right. So that so that you can't really touch, but probably the plane flight, possibly. I don't know. I just think doing it way before the Olympia, making it make sense. Winning 2 pro shows, depending on the tiers of the show, or even though we hate to say it, and the promoter's not going to do it because they make money, cutting back on some of these shows that has these shows going on for 10, 15, 20, 30 shows for bikini and physique and all that too. So I don't know, man. It's a lot of decisions to be made, for the big guys in the office to sit down and make that decision. I believe it will happen someday. They want to make money, but they also want to keep the fans entertained. I mean, you're not going to make money if nobody wants to sit and watch the Olympia all the way till 3:00 in the morning. So Something has to be done. When? I don't know, but it's definitely not happening this year. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Javier Ramirez does not know much about Phil Clayhar. You're not watching your show.
What happened?
You didn't know if you're this guy's asking if you're getting ready for the Masters Olympia this year.
No, I'm just sitting back.
He's looking massive and lean and fucking jacked.
My face just looked the way it looks because I'm just decided I want to try to get to my high school weight, 235 pounds.
Yes, Phil is going to the Masters. We'll get into that as well. This one too, Jay Cutler. Let's actually we'll just let Jay speak for himself here a little bit, and then we'll go.
Don't hear nothing.
You can't hear it?
No, you hit the volume.
Ron, can you hear it?
No,
No, you can't, Ron.
I can't hear him. I know that I saw the post earlier though. I know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's just talking about fake muscles and the guys a lot of fake body parts and they don't look real. That's all Jay said. And there's no bicep split in the bicep. And so I was like, okay, well, let me make a post and just kind of compare what Jay's talking about. And then I was like, when I found Jay's photo, I was like, holy shit, yeah, he's right. It's a huge difference. If you look at Jay's bicep here, you can see the striations here, right? The fibers on this side too, right? And then it's like you kind of zoom in, and I'm not picking on Samson. I put Derek and Hani in this too, right?
You say you're not picking on what you use in this picture.
I know. I have other guys in this too. I got Derek in this too, so I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah. I got Hadi in here. I got Derek. So
Okay.
Yeah. I knew I had to because people would expect that exactly if I just did Samson. But yeah, and then so you can see the difference of the quality of the biceps nowadays. And so I said, is this genetics? Is this training method, or is it something else? And it's something else I think we don't want to talk about. But I don't want to speculate because I don't know what these guys are doing, so I can't say they're doing it or they're not doing it. But why? What's the difference nowadays? Like, we don't see that as much anymore. And even amongst the top 5, Nick Walker has it, crazy biceps. But other than that, in the top 5, even Martin Fitzwater, his biceps, not happening. So, what do you guys think it is? Why can't they look like this anymore? What changed?
All I could tell you, I'm not going to even say anybody's doing anything or putting anything anywhere. Yeah. But the only thing I can say changed is just the hard work being put in and not counting and chilling back on how much drugs we could put in our body to develop what we need to develop. That's as simple as I could put it. You know what I mean? Hard work, limit high levels of drugs. It could be HGH. Now we got peptides, IGF-1, and all these crazy peptides now that's being implemented in the bodybuilding. I think that's what's causing that thicker, I don't think Samson's putting anything in his biceps. I just think that it's it's all about the skin, man. Getting that skin thin enough so those fibers can start popping in your shoulders and the biceps and the triceps, But if you have so much oil going on in your body, testosterone, EQ, whatever the case may be, all that has to run through the body, and it does display in your skin. So I just think it's just high level of the drugs being used, high level of growth hormone. Of course, there's other stuff out there, but I'm not going to speculate who's doing what. I just think that if we limit the high level of drugs and high level of HGH and some of the peptides, I think the physiques could look different. Now, remember back in J Day and all them guys, they weren't even using the level of stuff that, a lot of their pros are using now. Plus their gear was pharmaceutical grade where they had to use less. They didn't have to use more.
Yeah. Ron, you're thinking. I think you're thinking of something. What are you thinking about this?
I think if Jay says they're putting oil in their arms, Jay gets no pushback.
No, he didn't say it. No, I'm going to say Jay did not say anyone. He didn't even mention any names. He said the guys, the muscles don't look the same.
Okay, I'd be interested. I don't know if Samson has anything, or Derek or Martin, but I'd want to compare a picture of Samson from maybe 4 or 5 years ago to now. If he had detail and peaks and all kinds of things, separation, and the same for Derek. If they used to have those and now they don't, looks like a duck, quacks like a duck. Well, but we can't say it, or we're haters.
Mm-hmm.
But, the fans can say it, but it's insane. But it doesn't. Phil's being very diplomatic. These are his fellow peers, his brothers on stage. But come on, I mean, if someone has detail in every other muscle group, and this one area is like a blob, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, just logically, I mean, why would Derek have no detail there? Why is that so? There's no separation there. I mean, think back. It's not.
Even me, my bicep, I have like, it's not big like that, but it's like, it's cut and stuff. Yours, Ron and Phil, like it's right. So like, why? Where is it?
Exactly.
We don't want to say it. I don't want to. I'm not going to say it, Phil. None of us are going to say it because we don't know. We don't definitively know that they're putting something in their arm. So we can't be like, oh, we think they're putting it in their arm because it looks different. We're not going to do that. But it's just strange. It's just very odd that a guy that's at the level of where Derek Lunsford is, he gets shredded, but the bicep is just where is it?
If you want to keep the train going, I mean, Nick Walker has always had amazing arms.
Yeah.
He would be someone who never had any need whatsoever to put one smidgen of oil in his arms.
Yeah.
His arms are always an amazing body part. Derek, Samson, these guys, Martin, their arms have not been so fantastic. So I could understand why Heidi's got.
He's got the separation. It's there.
So, I mean, I could see where the temptation might be in a case like that. Someone whose arms were never as impressive, and they want everything to match. They want their legs, they want to be perfectly proportionate. I could see why the temptation would be there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I miss that. Like the Ronnie Coleman type bicep. It's just like the freak factor, genetics showing through there. It's like a thing of the past, and not everyone. Hottie's close there, although people could point out Hottie's dealt sometimes too. So I mean, it's I don't know. We hate to talk about it because it's like.
Well, I think he fixed that. I think in the one Olympia that really hurt him.
Yeah,
but it was clearly obvious, and I think he fixed that to some extent. But like I said, Rod made it clear. I mean, go back to their old pictures. Several years ago when it started, look at that. I know Derek when he won his first show and he competed in Tampa and won that at 212. That was a whole different look. You know what I'm saying? So I think once they step up into the super big dog elite level, things change. Supplementation change. So physiques change. So
Hey, Phil, without naming names, you talk to guys. How prevalent is SEO use, as far as you know?
I don't really talk to anybody that does it. I've heard about it. I've had someone recommend it to me and claim that, not saying no names, very, very top elite level IFBB pros in the Olympia is doing it. And I just went back and I just remember Milo stating that when he did it, how it just completely destroyed his muscles, his biceps, and it's just, was the biggest mistake of his life. So it was brought to my attention several years ago, and no, I don't know anybody that's doing it, but I was told by a very reputable person, some of the elite pros that are doing it. And some of them you can, I hate to say it, you can tell. I mean, you look at the big boulder roller shoulder caps and some of the past that's retired. It was clearly obvious. But I don't know anybody now personally that I can say is doing it. But I was given some names, but I would never say it.
Okay.
Yeah. And like Nick, this is Nick 13 weeks out, but his biceps, man, like just some of the best arms in the world. It's just ridiculous how some guys can get that type of a peak, and it looks like a baseball's in there. It looks like a softball.
But look how he struggles with his quads compared to some of these guys.
Yeah.
You got guys who aren't even going to be in the Olympia with quads that are like twice as big as Nick's.
Yeah.
I'm sure Nick trains them hard. They just don't respond like that.
No, they don't. But Nick's looking good. He's got some of the best arms in the business. All right, so let's go to this crazy man here. Everyone's talking about him, so.
This is my first time seeing it. Let me see this.
Oh, okay. And I think they took it down. I couldn't find it on Guildco, so I had to go to this Daniel's page to find it again. I'm like, they took it down. They felt embarrassed or something. I don't know. Yeah. So
Nick Walker was defending this guy yesterday in a post. Did you see that? Nick put
I
a
didn't
post.
see it. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
No.
I heard him. I don't know why, but I heard it.
Yeah.
I think
Just,
I think this problem is going to be resolved though. I
yeah.
think
Enough.
Billy was making a statement that it's going to come down from the front office. It's going to stop. It has to. I think it's just mocking bodybuilding and making a joke of it. This
Yeah.
guy's not even in shape, and it gets to a point where now you're mocking bodybuilders. It's a little bit disrespectful.
Yeah. Yeah. It's disrespectful, and it's just again he's not, maybe if you were in shape and you try to pull this off, and okay, but it's just him trying to have a concert. Like he's at a concert. He's trying to reenact the show here and sing along and.
What is that? Devil horns?
He's lip sync. It's half the routine is just him lip syncing. He's not
Yeah.
even posing.
Exactly.
You know, that's
Oh man.
well, Nick was defending him, saying, "Oh, you know, the guy's 50 years old. You don't know what his story, what he's been through. You know what? I don't care. I don't care.
I don't fucking
You know,
care.
people are calling me an asshole, saying, "Oh, you know, you're not how many pro shows have you won?" I can't have an opinion because I never won a pro show.
Yeah.
But you know
Listen,
what?
man, this world is so freaking. I was just having a discussion with a couple people today in the gym. How soft this world is.
Mhm.
Like everybody's feelings get hurt for every little simple bull crap. Like, you know, me growing up, the stuff that was said in our time. You know, we never flinched. We never complained. If it's true, it was just true. We just take it on the chin and mind our business. Now everybody, you can't even voice an opinion about something that logically has justification to it to say it, where everybody has to run to the defense of it, and half of them don't even know the reason why they're defending the person in the first place. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're just in a world now, and it's not going to get any better. We're in a very world now where everybody's just soft. You know, they're loaded with estrogen, I guess, and they're just little soft. I don't want to say the word soft little peas, and they don't want to just, you know, stand up like men and just be men. You know, but that's just the way it is. You know, so I will continue to voice my opinion, just like Ron will and Matt will. And guess what? People don't like it. Go shovel bricks.
You know what? Everyone, this is like not the first time someone. Every couple months we get a video that goes viral of somebody who doesn't look anything like they don't look like they belong on that stage. Some of them look like they've never. That guy looks. He probably does a little bit of training. It doesn't look like he's done much. Okay, he's not. He doesn't look like a bodybuilder. Yeah. I don't care if he paid his fees or not. Don't let these people on stage. Give them a refund because it's an insult to the people that busted their ass. They've been training for years. Hard. They've been eating clean meals, getting up at 5 a.m. and doing an hour on the step mill 6 days. You know what I mean? And then to say, well, you know, it's probably been his goal. Then let him freaking diet. Let him get to the point where he looks like he belongs on a stage and get up there. The sport shouldn't be for everybody. I'm sorry. I know financially on the promoter side, yeah, that's how you make money is just let everybody up there. I get it. But it really tarnishes and takes away. You know, then they say, "Oh, it's just a bunch of it's a stupid sport. It's guys in speedos and oiled up." No, not to those of us who've friggin' given our lives to it and have been up there ourselves many times. No, we take it a lot more seriously, and I take that as an insult when somebody gets up there. That's an insult to all the other people who work their asses off to get up there. Should we let anybody off the street who's never been in a gym, never eaten a clean meal, rolls of fat? Should we let anybody just get up there just because of here's my money? No, you know, I'm sorry. I'm never going to be cool with that.
You're right. That's where it should start when they come to check in for the show. If it's a novice show, I think this is probably what that was. Where I don't know what he's like. It must be at some type of novice entry level show
There are no novice shows. There's no novice divisions. He was probably in like a novice division.
Okay.
No, I heard that was his.
I think they're just true novice. There's true novice and there's novice. Yeah, true novice is, I think, the first time ever competing. And then novice, you competed but haven't won that division.
Right. I saw on another thread about that guy that a woman talked to him at the show, that guy, the dancing guy, and said that was his 20th show.
Wow.
20th.
No. Maybe that's what he does. That's what his thing is, man. He just goes.
He shows up and dances around, puts some paint on. Clearly didn't diet, clearly.
No.
Like, oh, there's a show next Saturday. I think I'll do it.
And it finally paid off. Finally got his 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah,
there it is.
And if I'm an asshole, so be it. I don't.
No, you're not. You're speaking the truth. It's like fuck. Anyone who's defending, like Nick. I don't know why Nick's defending the guy. But Nick should, of all people, Nick is, you think, be the one to be like, fucking call this guy out, right? And doesn't give a crap of what he says. But
Yeah, I mean, you being a professional bodybuilder, I don't care if this was like a NPC level show. Point blank is we want the sport to get better and go in a positive direction. We already are talking about the sport being watered down, giving out tons of pro cards.
yeah,
We don't now need to see every weekend, because this looks like that's what we're starting to see now.
mm-hmm.
Every weekend, there's some type of dancing in one of these regional shows. So it has to come to a point where they're going to have a meeting, because they all have meetings.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to happen, because I think it's starting to get around to the point where, the NPC worldwide are getting heat. So they got to have these meetings. Listen, what I mean? Your music's going to get cut. I mean, let it be known. They can't tell them they can't compete, which they probably could if they want to, but they're not. Once again, it's money, right? But have rules. You know what I mean? If you're going to get up on this stage and represent yourself as a professional, amateur professional, whatever you want to call them. But when I see this, and Nick, he shouldn't be defending any damn thing.
Mm-mm.
Because when we see this, what we put in our passion, all of us, anybody, I don't care if you became pro or didn't become pro, you put your passion into this for God knows how long, and then we start looking at a show and then we see this nonsense. Of course, it's going to piss me off. It should piss every bodybuilder off. It should not be, we don't know what he's going through. Well, I'll tell you what he needs to be going through. That's going to be my opinion. But Nick, probably because Nick gets picked on about guest posing, that sometimes he's defending someone else now, because he does get picked on because, quote unquote, he doesn't do a lot of guest posing because he doesn't control his stomach, which if he's guest posing, he don't need to control his damn stomach, my opinion. But I think he's just defending this guy because he's so used to getting, pushed back on himself.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, I think he needs to call it out, so it almost embarrasses the people that are doing this. Saying, "What are you doing? You look like a fool. What are you doing? We don't need that in our sport." Right? Again, it's supposed to be a professional league, the NPC. You got to register. It's an organization. But at the end of the day, what are they supposed to do when the guy shows up for check-ins and he looks like that? Are they supposed to be like, "Hey man, sorry, we don't want to have you on stage. You don't meet the criteria for, a beginner level where we need to see the muscularity showing and some development. You don't have any." What is he going to do? Get a lawyer and be like, "This guy's denying me my chance to," and right, they could be in a lawsuit. So I see why they're just like, right?
They can't do it. Sad to say, they can't. There's discrimination and all this other shit is going to come out. And
get a lawyer, NPC promoters, and there's a little part of your entry form that says, if you're
at our own discretion, we can say
yes. Like we can refuse service to anybody. They could say
yes
if you are deemed they have to word it very, very carefully.
Get the lawyer talk in there.
Criteria. I mean, you got to meet some of the criteria to step in approach, not approach, to step on stage. Conditioning, shape, structure, but mostly conditioning. You got to meet something to step on the stage.
Yeah. Like, and people that are in the audience that maybe have never seen a show before and they're coming to support their friends and they see this guy come out and they're like, what is this? What is this kind of a freak show? Is this a clown? What am I watching here? Right? It just embarrasses the athletes that are up there that work hard. And then people that are watching too are like, what the fuck's going on here? What am I looking at? This is a joke. So so if the NPC wants to control the narrative and how their shows are run and how they look, put that in the disclaimer in the sign up forms, that if we have the right to refuse you to compete based off these criteria, we don't think you meet them. If you sign that contract, they're covered. No lawsuits. Simple. So, like, why is it me and you and why do we have to come up with these simple ideas? It's like, are they just too old school to update their systems, and they're just stuck in the old days of how they used to do things? They just like don't take the time to update their systems, update the show criteria, update the judging criteria. It's like nothing's changing.
It goes back to what Phil was just saying. We're in generation pussy, okay? Everybody gets offended. Everybody's in their feelings. Everybody is quick to sue or make a post and, denounce. And, these people, they're horrible. They did this to me, that to me, and cancel culture. So I can understand why any contest promoter would be like, shit, this guy looks like ass. He looks like Jabba the Hutt, whatever. But if I don't let him on stage, what's going to happen? Am I looking at a lawsuit? I don't want that. It's easier for them to just let this guy go up there and be a clown than to worry about, his feelings are hurt. He might sue for $1 million.
Yeah, yeah,
Dad bod
yeah.
division. Dad bod is not a division yet. You got to clarify that, Bruce. Maybe soon.
Yeah. So, well, oh yeah, let's go into Breon or Keon here, and then we'll end up with the Masters Olympia. Got some questions there. So this, and I put on the title, "The Future of Bodybuilding." To me, this is a pleasing look. This is a guy that's really pushing his physique to the maximum limit in all the body parts and the structure and the flow, and then on top of that, extremely crazy good posing routine. Right on top of all that, the shape that he has and the structure. So this is what epitomizes bodybuilding, in my opinion. I know he's 212, but it's bodybuilding. So I just want your guys' take on Keon, and even if he was shredded right now, I know he's like under 200 pounds. Is it not big enough yet to win an Olympia Open?
Yeah, it's not big
Or
enough, but all I can say is what I see. This is beautiful art. That's
yeah,
what Lee Haney would say. This is
yeah,
beautiful art. The way he moves, the way he poses, his waist being so small, just the width of his. Look at that. I mean, that's
yeah,
just beautiful art. That's all I could say that I see this young man that's going to be a superstar. His head's on right. I remember in the past he struggled a lot mentally. He was battling a lot of demons, and he's bounced back from that. He's won again. This guy now, sky's the limit. As long as he continues to keep that structure beautiful, just like that.
yeah. Ron, what's your take on the future of bodybuilding and Keon?
I mean, you could make the argument. This might be the best physique in the world right now. We're looking at. I know Samson's a much bigger guy. Samson would probably beat him just because he takes up a lot more space on planet Earth. But like Phil said, he's not quite there yet as far as being able to be open Mr. Olympia. But he's not far away. He doesn't need to be much bigger than this. Just a few more pounds. It goes a long way. He's got those tiny joints, such round, full muscle bellies. This guy with like, I'd say 8 pounds more muscle, being very specific, and great conditioning. That's Mr. Olympia for a long time, I think.
Yeah, man. He's
What was
just
that? Was that a James Bond song? That song he chose was great. I wish I knew what it was.
It's an old school song. I don't know. Yeah, we'll find what
From a
that
Bond
song is.
movie, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, man, like it's just the posing style, the grace on stage. He looks like he's been doing this for like 35 years. To have that much, that comfortable with his physique.
He's incredible.
212 show this class this year, but his age. So
You're breaking up.
Yeah, Matt's Wi-Fi's going bananas.
Back. All right. Just screen.
Uh-oh.
Masters. Look the list. Can you hear me okay now, guys? I'm back.
In a little bit.
Okay.
Well, there's the Masters Olympia.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Masters Olympia list. And has this been the last? This was June 28th. This was the last update.
Yeah, I don't know if they did the final list yet. I think there's going to be a final list because they were going around making sure everybody that signed their contract. So there's going to be a final list. When, I don't know.
Okay.
What's that additional athletes all about under that? Keep going.
Oh, I didn't.
Are these more people that might end up in the Open? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
I follow Walter. I know Martin Walter on Facebook all the time. I thought he was in for sure. He's been prepping for it.
Okay. This is a deep. Like, there's lots of guys competing in the show. Over 20. Kamal, have we seen any updates from Kamal? We haven't seen any updates from these guys. Though.
I don't think Kamal's doing it.
Yeah.
I think he's in opening up a new gym in his country somewhere. But yeah, I don't.
Okay. Yeah,
Kamal's too far out from the pictures I saw. I don't think he's doing it.
yeah. And then Max Charles, I haven't seen anything about Max. I don't know if you saw anything.
I haven't seen anything,
He
but
stays pretty
Max is like a
quiet.
sneaky dude. You know what I mean? Max is
Yeah,
a ninja. So
yeah.
he won't post much. You know what I mean? And then you'll see him pop up in there. So who knows? I don't count Max out yet.
Okay. And then we got Fred Smalls. I've seen some of his stuff. No, I haven't seen Fred Smalls. There's another guy that I'm seeing. Kenneth. Kenneth's the guy I'm seeing.
Yeah, you
Kenneth.
see.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen him. Some updates. Fred Smalls,
I
haven't
think
seen
that
anything yet.
the guy that took third, I think, at the Brazil show, he's
Oh,
in this.
oh,
He comes in killer condition. I don't know
okay.
his name.
Okay. And then Dorian Haywood. He's younger though. He's like just barely over 40, is he? Or is he?
Yeah, I think he's 40. He's 40,
Yeah.
40 or 41.
Yeah. So he's got some size on him still. Conditioning is his thing, issue, I guess. So it's stacked up. It's gonna be a good show. We'll see. But Phil is what are we, 3.5 weeks out, and we get out of this.
Yeah, it's about Wednesday. Will be 3.5 weeks.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
only Monday.
go to full screen. Wednesday, 3.5 weeks. And how are we feeling? We always want the update since people are
I'm feeling
chiming in. We
good.
want to know how you're doing.
I'm feeling good. I was talking to Blue Saturday when I was on the bike on my second cardio, and he's like, "How you feeling?" I said, "Before I was, struggling, but now it's game time." You know what I mean? Foot on the gas. I'm not backing off the gas. Foot on the gas. I feel good. I know what I have to bring, and I have to bring condition. You know what I mean? I got the size, I got the structure, I got it all, and that I'm told from the big guys, the judges. I just got to bring in the killer conditioning that they used to see, and that's what we're bringing in. I'm battling against Phil from last year to destroy the Phil from last year. So we're in a very good place, in a very, very good place. Actually, I mean, I don't like speaking too much. Patty does all the talking when it comes, because I don't like bragging on myself. But we are ahead. We are ahead. I've been,
Okay.
got to look at it. I've been dieting. This is coming up on week 15. 15 weeks I've been dieting. So this is a long ride. Still,
Yep.
So total will be 18 weeks at the end of the day. So our game plan was to be ready for the show 3 weeks before the show. So we're right on schedule.
Good. And much cardio you doing now? Is the cardio still up there, or is it?
The cardio, well, the PM cardio stayed for right now at 55 minutes, and it's nothing crazy. It's just moderate cardio. All the crazy stuff is done. All the hit stuff is done. It's just keeping the body going, keeping the body fat moving. And then the night cardio is just same thing, low pace, 30 minutes. I took off 15 off of that. We'll roll with that probably for another 2 weeks, and then the last week cardio will probably be cut completely. But body fat wise, we're in a good place. Dry skin in a good place. I'm just in an overall good place. I'm very, very excited. I'm chopping at the bit for it to hurry and get here,
Yeah.
to display, because I'm not going to display much of anything for anybody to see. 2 weeks out, I may do a shot in the gym in a tank top. I may do that. I may not. But I can tell you and everyone that's watching, I did not bring my best last year, and that clay hard was absolutely disappointing. I used that to drive me this year for this show to bring the best I can possibly bring. So God willing, the way things are going, which is absolutely great, if it keeps going in this direction, as in me just continuing to reel it in this week, next week, we'll be at the Tampa Pro to have Tim take a look at me before I take off a couple of days later. But I think everybody's going to be shocked. I believe that everybody's going to be shocked. So if anybody has an image from last year, keep it in your head. All my opponents, keep it in your head. I want you to keep that in your head, and I want you to believe that's what's coming. And then
It's good.
I'm going to shock the world.
Awesome. Love the confidence, and and if you feel that, that's it. That's what you should speak it into fruition, and believe it. So I love that. So we're excited to see. Yeah, I'd love to see a tank top shot. some back workout, something, doing something.
Well, you and
Feel-
Ron, I may send you guys some secret pics that you can show.
Okay. I won't show it.
I know I can do that. To
I might
AJ.
leak it
can
out.
Send to AJ something, and he will not show it. But I'm gonna send you and Ron something on the down low, and you'll see. And you guys will see, because honestly, your opinions is the only ones that matter to me. Not that I don't love my fans, but sometimes I'm not a big guy to like putting everything out on social media like a lot of pros do. But my close friend, I'll let you guys be the judge and say, okay, you can say, listen, I saw Phil, and he means business. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
okay.
and we'll leave
That's
it
what
at that.
we'll do that then. I'm looking forward to the photos. Whenever you're ready, send them over and we'll take a look and get in crunch time. I'm excited for this. Tokyo. It's gonna be fun for you out there too. Lots of planned for you guys. Lots of attractions you can go check out and see. So, all right. So I'll let you guys go. I don't feel tired. You got to get back to it. He's dieting.
Yeah.
Ron, thank you, everyone. We'll see you guys again next week. Okay.
Hey,
All right,
Ray.
guys, take care.
Catch it. Peace, guys. Take care.